Hi, my name is Allie Searles. I'm the founder and CEO of Don't Be Breedist. When I first started out these Training Tip Tuesdays, I wanted to give free information that was being charged to the public, just out for everybody in the community to have. One of my goals with Don't Be Breedist is to get a community of trainers that can deal with puppies, reactiveness, every level, and not just be one trainer group. So that will take me a little bit of time, but until then, I'm not currently training anybody. I'm just training my own service dog. I'm nationally certified in training. I've raised 2.5 to almost 3 guiding eyes for the blind dogs, and one is a full blind dog now with his person, Ethan. But one of the things I can share and help people out with is the different equipments and the things that I do for Forrest and my struggles that I go through, the different techniques I'm working with, how I'm identifying different service techniques for him. Right now with techniques, I realized that I had been trained for visually impaired service dogs and training them. And even though Forrest is still working on basically the Canine Good Citizens test requirements, I struggle a lot harder in the wintertime with my complex PTSD. So we've definitely been out of our training routine. We're very good in the summer about getting out in the morning before it's too hot, getting out for some exercise, swimming, training, and then that way he can sleep and rest and I can get all of my other stuff done the rest of the day and I know he's taken care of. So that for me is the most important. He works for me basically, and not all the time, but he works for me and I want to make sure that part of my day goes to him because he works so hard. And I don't think it's fair to have an expectation that working dogs are on 24/7. I don't even think that's fair for humans. So I definitely do things a little bit differently. I've taken advice from different trainers all over the East Coast, and I definitely go through a positive reinforcement, but I have different techniques as well. So if there's ever anything anybody wants to help me with, let me educate me, teach me. Like that will help me so much. And I just think as a community to share the different experiences and to share the struggles of like, it's been really hard going through kenneling and all these different things. I think that can really help the community build together and create stronger bonds. So moving on from that, I want to start introducing different equipments because I don't feel that pet shops and even the equipment tags really demonstrate and show how to use them. I've been dealing with dogs for 20 years now, and I still walk into the pet shop and have to like hold it up, look at it, not really sure what loop goes where. You're putting a paw through, and then you're trying to like, and at the same time, if you're trying to measure out equipment inside of a PetSmart or a Petco, it's a pain, it's frustrating. You're hoping your dog doesn't get reactive with another dog coming. You're trying to keep the peace, but moving on from that. One of the things that I've struggled with Forrest is he's my very first extra large breed. And I have a back brace on right now. I also have sometimes my back will spaz. So holding a dog of his size can get very overwhelming and very difficult. And so for me, the best thing is to go to equipment. Except for the last 20 years, there's been barely any equipment. You can check PetSmart, you can go back. You'll actually notice some of the materials are getting more durable, but they're actually a lot more able to cut up your hands now compared to some other of the nylon that have been discontinued that I've passed down generation to generation of my dogs. And now the versions that are sold are the ones that they can, if they get too reactive, they can bite into the leash and get broken off into traffic, which you never want, never ever want. So one of our new equipment pieces that I've been trying with Forrest and that I do now have on don'tbebreedist.com. So you can get this online. It is, my intuition has always told me not to put a prong on. I think doing anything for a long period of time can cause same with humans, any like neck issue and things. So I've been very weary and been hoping that somebody creates something, which luckily for PetSafe, they did. So this is a rubber prong collar. It's called the SoftPoint Training Collar. One thing I really love about this collar is the martingale attachment. So usually with a prong collar, it would be all the way tightened like this. You'd put it on. It would already be snug. The dog already clearly knows it's on. What I like about the martingale collar is it keeps it a regular collar until he pulls me, and then it pulls up. So the way you put this on, because I want to help people learn the different equipment and how to use them, put them on. The way you put them on, I'll demonstrate myself. I'm not going to. But you put it on, you hook it. And then I bring this loop to the back head of him so that if I pull, it's on the back and not pulling from the front, because you want to be very, very careful with their throat right here. And again, I'm only going to share information of what I've learned and the resources I have. And if anybody has any tips and tricks of how I could be better or we could be better as a community, please let me know. I'm always appreciative of that, as long as it's respectful, of course. One of the main things I really love about this collar is it's adjustable, and you can actually, you see all these little clips. These pop right off, and it's super easy. You just take that, peel it out, pops off of there, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide these, and then you can adjust it here, and then if not, you can basically put it, you're gonna put it back on, and I might try to show a better clip of this so you can see, but basically they go right back on. I was somebody dealing with rubber dog stuff and stuff like this because I did just buy this and I'm testing it out and I love it so far. We now use it every day. We've had reactive incidences. I've been able to handle him, maneuver him around. I did have an old trainer that suggested a harness with a loop on the front and back, and you can get a leash splitter and put it on the front and the back, and when they pull, you turn their head and their back at the same time, so they can't really like pull towards a dog in like a diagonal direction because you're shifting their body weight around. And that really worked for him really well, actually, with his size. But unfortunately, one of the trainers didn't like the look of it for the service dog training. And right now we were doing privates with trainers, and then we tried a group and that went bad, and we had to spend another 6 months almost breaking down the training and re-hitting what is the fear zones, what are we dealing with, what's the level of reactivity, and how did it get this bad when there really wasn't any before. So it's been an interesting journey with him. But I just want to be able to show any collars and equipment that I really love and enjoy. I have these up on my website. They will have replacements. I'm going to put those up today. These will be little prong replacements of these. You can hook them, and then if you lose them, they come in a 4-pack. As somebody with dog stuff, I always try to be careful when it's rubber, when it's a different new material, like a biothane. Just to make sure if I need to adjust this, I try not to do it too often so that these little clips don't get too loose and bent out of shape. I also only use this on him when we walk. That way he knows it comes off if you stop pulling mommy. But right now he's going to use this until we can get in a much better foos, which is his heel. So I'm very excited to see. We've only been working with this collar for a couple weeks now, and I love it. So I'm going to keep using it and recommending it to anybody I talk to, because I've been looking for a safe alternative from the metal prongs for years now, and there's nothing that I wouldn't try. So if this didn't work and I needed to move to one, I would consider it, just because I don't want my shoulder popping out of my socket every time I walk forest. So I wanted to introduce these and the different equipment and how to use these, because I don't think these equipments have been explained enough over the years. And I think when you buy $1,500 worth of somebody talking and explaining it to you, that's just not fair. And I think in other countries where the dogs walk off leash side by side and do so well, I think we could do a lot better. And I think the UK even just proved that getting rid of the bully brand actually still increased their dog fights. So it's all psychology, it's all behaviorisms, it's working together on community, on mental health, and how do we help the mental health of people and dogs working together, and just doing better overall, having better tools, having better resources, understanding each other better. So when we're out walking and you see somebody being reactive or anything, you're not going, my dog's friendly, because that's the last thing we want to hear. It's a little scary when you're dealing with a reactive dog and somebody's just running up to you. So that will hit your fight or flight too. So trying to do the best things that we can to just share the resources. And I'm just here to try to make life and dog life easier for people. And whatever I can do to help, you can always email us and whatnot. We're definitely new and starting out, so I'm excited. I'm very excited that moving forward, we'll have these little Training Tip Tuesday explanation videos. And if there's any equipment or anything that anybody would like to see, let me know. There's gentle leaders, halters, different leashes, different materials of the leashes. So whichever one you want to see, let me know, and we can add that into our Training Tip Tuesdays. And I think as I'm starting, Mr. Boris Gumpy behind me, I think he had a very good swimming day, and we are about to go add some more products to the site so you guys can shop more.